Hey, it's Rich with breathingwiththemarkets.com. Today is December 19th, 2025. Here's a clip of another mentee. We trade on a 1-minute time frame, so how appropriate. Genuine people, genuine traders equals genuine results. And that's what's most important. I hope you enjoy. I wish all of you well. Trade hard, trade smart, and trade often. I hope to see you at breathingwiththemarkets.com. I will change your trading life. Peace.
Well, I've been trading on and off for the better part of 8 or 9 years. Sort of looked at lots of different things in the market, but not really finding something that I felt I could stick with that was duplicatable, repeatable, and consistent. I found there's lots of things where I think I could get in and get a quick win, but not that I could do again tomorrow confidently. So anyway, on and off, not really doing much of anything. I kind of take it serious for 2 or 3 months, and I wouldn't do anything for 9 months, and I look at it again for 2 or 3 months. And lately, I've been trying supply and demand, and that was the first time that I started to find something that started to make a little bit more sense. But even the supply and demand, I found to be very, very what's the right word? There's always an excuse why it doesn't work, and there's always an excuse why you should have taken that one, but not that one. But it's almost more like it's someone's opinion rather than just being truly objective. It's too subjective. And so I thought, well, I'll even copy the people in the course, and I'll copy exactly the trades that they're calling out. And when I do that, the accounts would just get blown instantly. So it showed me that it's not just me making the mistake, because I'm copying exactly what they're saying, and it's still not winning. So then I've realized, okay, this is not objective. This is very subjective. You sort of got to say, well, it's all these rules. This may work. And if it doesn't work, this is probably why, but it might work. And I thought this just doesn't work for me. So I was kind of looking for something different. And that's when I came across your stuff. With your program, I felt it's a little bit more about understanding what the market's doing and why it's doing it versus these generic, it's going to go to here, then it's going to turn around, then it's going to go to here, it's going to turn around. It was more like live. It was more real time. It was more, the market is doing this, so let's do this together. I did 2 days of still chart testing, and then I had a couple of accounts, and I thought I'll just go on the account and do it. And it was interesting. Over the 30 to 45 minutes I was on the chart, there was the way you teach the entries, there was probably 7 entries. I could have entered on any of those 7 entries. And I did enter on some of them, and I was able to just take little tiny scalps off the market, but feel confident with it and feel confident, well, I'm going to take this little scalp and I'll just pull $200 off. And then I'm just going to sit here and wait. And if it presents again, then I'm going to go back in and scalp some more. And so I did that, and I was able to take a couple of my accounts from a negative position and turn them into a positive position. That's the difference, is that you're actively engaged in the market, reading the market, paying attention to the market versus sitting back and waiting for this one opportunity that's going to come during your session. And it may come 10 minutes after you turn your computer off, and it may come when you get to go to the bathroom, or it may not come that day, or if it does come and it fails, then there's going to be a subjective reason as to why it failed.
Knowing what you know today, could I fool you?
No, I mean, I can watch all your videos and I know exactly where you entered. You don't show anything on your videos, but other than just the screen behind you, and I'm able to either A, I already know where you entered just because I was on the charts at the same time, or B, I can look at your screen, I can open up my screen, I can say exactly where you entered and exactly where you got out. It's just common sense. Like once you understand,
yeah, it is common sense trading, right?
But I struggled. I told you that during the sessions, right? I struggled with that because it's what up is down and what's down is up, and it's backwards and sideways, and it's not what I was familiar with. And being not new to the market, I had a pretty deep bias and understanding of the way I believe the markets worked from everything I'd been taught and everything I watched on YouTube and stuff. So this was very different thinking. So I did struggle to twist things around in my head. I'm not sure if you heard that from other mentees, but that was probably my biggest struggle, was twisting things around to see the market the same way you're seeing it. And I think the difference is with the skill that is taught from you is a person can go more into a scalping type of a system where you can confidently say, there's my 1-to-1. I'll just take that cash out now. Oh, my entry's still going. Okay, I'll just jump back in and I'll take out, oh, there's another 1-to-1. I'll take that out. And you can do that over and over and over throughout the day versus waiting for that home run. And that's a big difference, because I'm sure you've been around long enough to know, sitting there waiting for that home run, waiting for that 1-to-3 or that 1-to-4, and he gets to 1.25 and then turns around and dumps and you miss the move. There's nothing that's more depressing than that. So that's a big difference that's not talked about in this program, the way you teach the knowledge of the market. A guy can get in confidently and make those moves. And I think for me, the biggest thing is you have to find someone that you believe has got this skill. And so I think there's a lot of people that show flashy things out there and it looks like they have the skill, but it's not verifiable that they have the skill. So you got to find somebody that's got the skill that you're looking for. And I think that's, again, much like finding the proper golf pro, right? There's no sense going to a guy that hasn't done anything with his golf skills. You're looking for someone that's got a good score, that's got, a low handicap, that's been in the game for a long time and is successful at it. And that's the same thing with trading. You've got to find someone that you believe has got that skill. skill. And then you gotta link in and learn from that person. And I think that's the biggest thing that I did wrong is I was following a lot of the daily stuff. Like I'd watch something on YouTube and I'm like, I'm going to try this today. Try it for an hour or two and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So I'll try this. And then, try that for a day or two. That doesn't work. Or I try something different and sure, I'm successful for 1 or 2 days. But then when you look back and you can't duplicate it, you realize I probably just got lucky. So you've got to find someone that has the skill that can teach you. And then once you find that person, then you gotta go through the process, pay for it, get involved, do the trades, do the practice, and then just stay on top of your game. That's the only way to get better. I mean, it's not a 15-minute strategy. It's not a 1-hour strategy. And it's not even a 2-day strategy. Because even after the 2 days, you got to stay on the charts. And then every time you're on the still charts, you're learning more things that aren't discussed necessarily word for word in the training, but you're learning additional things that you're starting to say, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Just like I said, with my learning on my side.
We on the mission. Yeah, we on the mission. You all know the mission. That's destroy opposition. We on the mission. Yeah, we on the mission. The mission is to win and destroying competition. We on the mission, yeah, we on the mission. You all know the mission, that's destroy opposition. We on the mission, yeah, we on the mission.